Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football channel for a brand new episode on a Monday evening of Chelsea Fans React. I got it right. I said to myself a week ago that after Newcastle at home, Ajax away, 4 days in Amsterdam, then driving up to Burnley, that I would be ill come the start of this week, going into Man United on Wednesday, and then I'm moving house, moving back to London, so this office has only got one more week of residency right now. I'm moving up to London and I'm bloody ill. My nose just keeps running, my throat hurts, which is going to make this video quite interesting because I'm going to make a fool of myself today. Pulisic, sick, he will run and score all three. We're going to take a look at the examples that you guys have sent in for a new song for Christian Pulisic, because USA, I'm sorry, it's just not good enough. We're not going to be able to do that. If Drogba scored and we went Ivory Coast every time, can you imagine the banterous club we would be known as for just not having any kind of lyrical genius in us whatsoever? We've got to do something better, and it's not because I've got anything against the USA. I know that some people get offended by that, so I have to clarify. I just think the man deserves something a bit better than us just chanting the name of the country he's from, don't you think? So before we get into that, I'm going to save that for the end of the video, because by that point my voice will probably be absolutely butchered as if we're chopping up some steak. Might as well just own it up and make a fool of myself by trying to sing in the tunes of some of the chants that you guys have sent to me. A lot of comments on these videos as well actually say that as a result of watching the match vlogs, you guys get to know and understand some of the Chelsea chants a little bit more for some of the fans from abroad. So thank you for those comments, and I'm glad we can bring you guys closer to the action, I guess. The first thing I want to discuss is a comment I've seen a couple of times on social media. It's a comment I've seen on my videos since the Ajax game, and also the game particularly against Burnley, and that is, should we be worried about Tammy Abraham? And just before this gets into anything like the Chant discussion video last week, no, we shouldn't be worried about Tammy Abraham. The man is still the second top goal scorer in the Premier League behind Jamie Vardy, who has just been top class ever since he got to the Premier League, and he's level with Sergio Aguero, who's one of the most prime marksmen in Premier League history. The man is an absolute genius in front of goal. Tammy Abraham is currently batting in the same leagues as these fellas, which is absolutely brilliant. On the flip side of the coin, I can kind of understand why some people might start to worry, but it's way too early for that. He's not scored since Southampton, but as far as I'm concerned, Southampton was only a couple of weeks ago, and since then, Chelsea have won every game of football that we've played. And Tammy Abraham doesn't need to be the one scoring the goals every game for us to win the football matches. That we can see. Frank Lampard as a manager is trying to mould Chelsea successfully so far into a kind of team that he was in when he was a Chelsea player. We didn't always need to rely on Hernan Crespo, Didier Drogba, Adrian Mutu, who was too busy doing other dangerous business, wasn't he really? Fernando Torres, Nicolas Anelka, the list of Chelsea strikers go on, that Frank Lampard was the player scoring the goals to make sure Chelsea were winning trophies and winning football matches. So what we're understanding and what we're seeing from Frank Lampard's Chelsea so far this season is the onus and the emphasis isn't always on Tammy Abraham to be the only person delivering the goals. If Tammy's not scoring, Mason Mount is. If Mason Mount isn't scoring, Willian is. Hudson-Odoi provides the assist, and now Christian Pulisic is scoring goals for us as well. Got to have a little swiggeroony. That was outrightly aggressive and I didn't need to be. So at the end of the day, Chelsea Football Club is a team, and to be honest, the only thing I'm worried about is us winning football matches, and if we're still winning football matches, then we're not bothered if Tammy Abraham is bagging a goal every single time he's on the pitch. That being said, if he doesn't score for like another 5 games, then maybe we can have this conversation. At the same time, Tammy Abraham is not just a goal scorer. We've seen that from him this season. His hold-up play has been very good. The way that he links up with the players around him, such as Mason Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Willian, it's been very impressive from Tammy Abraham so far this season. And, you know, just because he's not scored in a couple of games, there's no way that we should be worried about him. There's more of a well-rounded footballer in Tammy Abraham than simply a man who scores tap-ins and goals. We've seen him score from outside the box, we've seen him score with his head. Tammy can do it all, and I think he's actually been playing very well. Even though he might not have scored against Ajax and Burnley, he did come off in that game against Ajax, and I will say that that was the only real time this season that I feel as though Tammy has been so isolated that he couldn't really get involved with the game. If Tammy was on the pitch come the end of the game, Ajax were tiring. There were a lot of spaces being left in the middle of the park against Ajax, and I think that if Tammy would have stayed on, he could have been the man in Batshuayi's position to score anyway. That takes nothing away from Batshuayi. I just want to make sure that we're not stressing out about Tammy Abraham because he does more than score goals and he's actually still playing quite well. So the next thing I want to bring up today is something that Chelsea fans are just lapping up right now because, well, everyone thought at the start of the season that it'd be Frank Lampard's Chelsea that would be battling with relegation, struggling, no chance in hell that Chelsea Football Club will get the top four with not only a transfer ban, but just a load of youngsters running around. Well, look who's laughing now. Granit Xhaka gets booed off by his own fans during a 2-2 draw for Arsenal against Crystal Palace. First things first, feel a bit sorry for David Luiz. He's being left out of this whole party we've got going on at Stamford Bridge right now. He's joined a team who, well, I mean, their fans are booing off their club captain. There's two things. It's a bit disgraceful to ever boo players of your own team, and I will just say, because I remember Chelsea fans booing our players against Sunderland after Mourinho was sacked back in 2015 or 2016. I think it was 2015. It was 2015. And I didn't personally boo because I never believe in booing your own players. But there were a lot of people in Stamford Bridge who booed some of our players during that game against Sunderland because we thought that they were the reason that Jose Mourinho was sacked. Things go full circle, Chelsea get Conte, next season we win the Premier League. I never believe it is right to boo a player of your own team, and Granit Xhaka yesterday, if you watched any of the game between Arsenal and Palace, I don't really think it was Xhaka's fault as to why Arsenal surrendered a 2-goal lead. It was just shambolic defending yet again from Arsenal, something that we've come to expect over the years from the Gunners. You know, the fact that they booed their captain off the pitch, that's one thing, and then for him to just take off his shirt, throw it down and tell the Arsenal fans to off, that is another thing. So when you add those two things together, we just get Arsenal as the banter club of London again, really, don't we? That's just it in its simplicity. I probably should round this off. I never think it's right to boo one of your own players, but as the captain, you need to be able to take whatever it is that is coming at you from the fans, because if you can't, what kind of message does that send to the Arsenal youngsters coming through? What kind of a message does that send to the other players on the pitch who look up to their captain as the leader? For him to walk off the pitch, swear under his breath out loud at the Arsenal fans, telling them to F off, throwing his shirt down, storming down the tunnel. Arsenal are in turmoil and you just love to see it. So sticking with North London and sticking with speaking about banter for a little while, Spurs, they surrender a 1-goal lead. Harry Kane gave them the lead against Liverpool inside the first minute of the game. I'm sat there watching it on TV just thinking that is the worst time for Tottenham to score because Liverpool were going to batter them anyway, most likely going forward, and they've just made it worse for themselves because the onslaught from Liverpool came, as you would expect it to, and Spurs don't really create anything again. Dele Alli was poor, Eriksen was poor, Son, I mean, he doesn't look like the player he was last season at times, and Harry Kane, he's kind of just flying the flag for Spurs, even though it's not even at half-mast at this point. Spurs are crumbling, but let's bring it back to what we're all here for, and that is the only team in London with the European Cup. Chelsea, the blue side of London, West London. Football is a sport where I like to respect my opponents, but at the same time, you've got rivalries, and it's just fun to just get involved with the rivalries for what they are. Everyone takes the piss out of us. Everyone thought we were going to be failing this season. Captain America signs for Chelsea, gets his first hat-trick. Chelsea's second hat-trick from a young player this season, Christian Pulisic. So let's talk about the Pulisic song, shall we? USA, USA, USA. No, we can't have this. And it's not because, like I said earlier, it's not because I've got anything against the United States of America. It's just like, come on, Chelsea. We need to be more creative here. Christian Pulisic is a man in his own right who's playing for our club. He's not just a country, okay? He's not just the United States of America. So when he scored his first goal, you know, it's kind of understandable. We've not had chance really yet to come up with a song for him. So we're all just there like, Pulisic, Pulisic. We need to come up with something slightly more creative. A lot of opposition fans give Chelsea a bit of stick for the whole Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea. That is probably one of my favourite chants in football, to be honest, because at the end of the day, we're there to support the club. So singing the name of the club isn't really that much of a big deal about, you know, I don't get it. We know we've got a class player on our hands. He scores one, fair enough. We don't have a song yet, so we just go back to singing Willian's name, which is, you know, fine. Singing about the names of one of our players, never going to complain about that. But I felt as though we need to come up with something a bit better than USA, USA, USA for Christian Pulisic. And it's not because I've got anything against the United States of America. Please don't be offended by that. If you are, no, you shouldn't be. If Didier Drogba scored and we just went Ivory Coast every time, we would become a banter club, which we've already got enough fans of other teams saying Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea is a bad chant, even though it's absolutely unreal. If you're a Chelsea fan in the stadium singing Chelsea, Chelsea, it's just great. I don't care what other fans say about that chant. But if we start singing the name of the country that our players who are scoring for us come from, then we do look a little bit daft. I went on Twitter, and after Pulisic had scored the second one, I'm thinking, great, okay, we've got to come up with something now because this man's on fire, and this isn't going to be the last time he scores a goal in a Chelsea shirt. So my tweet was a nice picture of we got a bloke here at the front who is, don't know what he's doing with his nose. I've seen some people do some funny things with their noses at football games in the past, but I think it was just a bit cold. So a bit like me, got a couple of sniffles, got a hat on, and then you've got the Burnley groundsman just doing a little bit of work there. We don't care about that. Pulisic is on fire! Exclamation mark. We need a song for him right now in capitals, as in this moment. Ellipsis. Can he do it on a cold night in Burnley? Of course he can. What a half. So obviously within this tweet, I'm asking for a Chelsea song for Pulisic, and I'll be honest, I could have made one myself, but I couldn't think of one. It's always a name that I can't pronounce when it comes to trying to give credit for someone for coming up with a song, but I think this man's from Iceland. His name is Hafbor Palmi Oddsson, and he says, sing Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond, which is a bloody wonderful chant, but say, Sweet Pulisic, oh, 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 he is my... No... I can't. I'm not a fan of that one. It got 2 retweets and 5 likes, but it's just not really going to do it for me. I don't think that one's going to catch on in the Matthew Harding lower. Take me on a trip I'd like to go someday. Take me to Stamford Bridge and Fulham Broadway. Want to come and see you score someday. You are our American boy. You see there, like, it's okay. American Boy, this is from Dean, Carefree CFC. I couldn't sing it properly without getting the words wrong. So, I just don't think that one's going to work. The American Dad theme song, which I'm not going to lie, I've never watched American Dad. Good morning, USA. I've got a feeling that Pulisic is going to score today. This Chelsea club put a smile on my face, and Pulisic is leading us into the title race. It's got a ring to it, that, and the American Dad theme song, I know some of you may watch American Dad, so that one from CFC Lewis might make sense to some more of you, but I'm going to bypass that one for now. This is the point where I really do have to start wondering what's going on. Remix Baby Shark and put in Pulisic's name. Christian's on fire. Your defence is... No, I want to leave that one back in the Euros where it belongs. No, Will Grigg isn't on fire. Pulisic is on fire, but we're not going to go down to that level. Surely not. Someone does say the USA, USA chant. Pulisic, sick, he will run and score all 3. Pulisic, sick, he'll run and score all 3. From the left, from the right, even a header against Burnley. Come and dance every night. This is Frank Lampard's Chelsea. Again, not sure if it's going to catch on, but Kirk Coutinho from Mumbai, India. That one is probably the best of the ones that were sent to me on Twitter. You guys, help me out here. Let me know a song for Christian Pulisic in the comments down below. So this YouTube channel has just taken a little deviation from the usual path, but it is what it is. You're sick on a Monday, you might as well make fun of yourself a little bit. So Pulisic needs a song. That is something we can all confirm. I'm going to wrap this video up here. It's been a wonderful week to be a Chelsea fan. This week's going to be, hopefully, just as good. We've got Man United at home in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday. I'm going to the game with Jan, Football Therapy, and Lawrence isn't coming. And Lawrence is normally the man who kind of is the glue for the match vlogs to work. So I might just do something on my own with Jan for the game against Man United. So if you want to see a match vlog, hit the like button on this video and let me know in the comments down below, and I will do it. I was thinking of just going to the game and just sitting there and enjoying it for myself, but you know, I know that you guys rely on me for the match vlogs, and I quite enjoy making them, so I probably will do one anyway. Man United preview will also be out tomorrow evening. Thank you guys for watching this video today. Chelsea fans react. We need a song for Christian Pulisic, and I expect him to start against United, and I think he'll score again. So we should come up with something pretty quick. Let me know in the comments down below what it should be, and I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.